Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Glad to be back.
Today we're taking a look at something I'm sure you've all seen a million times.
Yeah.
That crazy shake wet dogs do.
Yeah, like right after a bath.
After a bath, a swim,
Yeah.
just drenched, and they just
Yeah.
go crazy.
Yeah, it's like a full body, like a spasm almost.
So we all know dogs shake off water, but
Right.
have you ever stopped to think about like how and why they do it?
Yeah, the mechanics of it.
Yeah, the mechanics, the science behind it.
Right.
Well, there's this really cool study that
I
came
know.
out in the journal Science.
Oh, cool.
And that's what we're diving into today.
Awesome.
These researchers actually wanted to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on in the brain,
Uh-huh.
what's going on in the nervous system, what triggers this whole thing.
Yeah, what's the signal?
And what they found
Yeah,
is honestly pretty surprising.
I bet.
So
Yeah.
let's start with what we know. We know that dogs shake when they're wet,
Right.
but like why?
Right. Is it just to dry off?
Yeah, is it just to get the water off?
Or is there something else going on?
Or is there like a deeper reason?
Yeah.
So the researchers in this study,
Okay.
they actually used mice as a model.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Shake too.
mice shake too.
Oh, I've never noticed that.
Yeah, they do like a little tiny shake.
Yeah.
It's not as dramatic as a dog,
Right, right.
but they do it too. And the reason they used mice
Yeah.
is because...
Probably easier to study in the lab.
Yeah, way easier to study in the lab.
Right.
So what they did was
Okay.
they basically poked and prodded these mice
Mm-hmm.
with all sorts of different stimuli.
Oh, like to try to trigger the shake?
Yeah, to see what would trigger the shake.
Got it.
So they splashed them with water.
Okay, makes sense.
They like puffed air at them.
Okay.
And they even put a little bit of oil on their fur.
Mm.
And one of the things they found that was really interesting
Okay.
was that oil,
Yeah.
specifically on the back of the neck,
Okay.
was a really strong trigger for the shake.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but I've seen
Yeah.
my dog will scratch at his neck,
Yeah.
like right after he gets wet.
Yeah, yeah, like he's trying to get something off.
Like he's trying to get something off.
Yeah.
So it's like that
It's
area
okay.
is extra sensitive when it comes to this whole
Right.
shaking reflex.
So it's not just feeling wet, it's about something touching the skin.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So then the researchers were like,
Okay.
okay, so touch is important,
Yeah.
but how does that actually trigger the shake?
Right. Like what's the connection there?
What's the link between like feeling something
Yeah.
on your skin and then your whole body just going
Right.
into this crazy shake?
Yeah.
So they started looking at genes.
Okay.
And you can think of genes like instruction manuals for our bodies.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
They tell our cells what to do,
Right.
how to build things, how to function.
And so they were looking for a gene
Mm.
that might be related to this shaking behavior.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they found one called piezo2.
Piezo too, okay.
And this gene
Yeah.
is really important for our sense of touch.
Okay.
So it helps us feel things like pressure and movement on our skin.
So is that like when you pet your dog
Yeah,
and he feels it?
exactly.
Okay.
And so the researchers, they did this really cool experiment.
Oh, I bet they removed the gene
They removed the piezo2 gene
in the mice.
in the mice.
Okay.
And guess what happened?
They stopped shaking.
The mice completely stopped shaking,
Wow.
even when they were soaking wet.
Really? So they were just wet mice?
Yeah, just dripping wet mice,
That's wild.
just standing there.
So that means
Yeah,
that touch sensation is crucial
it's essential
for this whole shaking reflex.
for the whole thing.
Wow, that's a big discovery.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Because it basically proved
Yeah.
that this shaking behavior
Right.
isn't just some random thing.
Right.
It's directly tied
Yeah.
to the sense of touch.
So it's like a reflex.
Yeah, like a reflex.
Wow.
Like when the doctor hits your knee
Yeah, and your leg kicks out?
and your leg kicks
You
out.
can't help it.
You can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's like hardwired into your nervous system.
That's so cool.
So the researchers were like,
Okay.
okay, so we know touch is important.
Yeah.
We know this piezo2 gene is involved.
Uh-huh.
But what kind of touch exactly?
Right, like what's the specific signal?
Yeah, like is it just any kind of touch?
Yeah.
Or is it something more specific?
Right, because like I said, you pet your dog and they feel it, but that doesn't make them shake.
Right.
So it must be something else.
Yeah, so it's got to be something more
Yeah.
specific
Yeah.
than just general touch. And that's where these things called C-LTMRs come in.
C-LTMRs.
Yeah. What are those?
So imagine like tiny little pressure sensors
Okay.
embedded in your skin.
Uh-huh.
And these sensors,
Yeah.
they're constantly sending signals to your brain
Okay.
about what's touching you.
So like if something's pressing on you or if it's moving across your skin?
Exactly.
Okay. Hey.
And C-LTMRs
Yeah.
are a specific type of nerve ending
Okay.
that are super sensitive to
Right.
pressure and movement.
So they're like the special agents of touch.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
And the researchers think that these C-LTMRs are the key
Okay.
to triggering the shake.
So when those C-LTMRs feel something specific,
Yeah.
that's when the dog knows it's time to shake it off.
It's time to shake.
Wow.
It's like those C-LTMRs are like, hey, brain, we're wet. Time to shake.
It's like a little alarm system.
Yeah.
I love it.
But how does that signal
Actually travel from the skin to the brain.
Yeah, how does it know to shake its whole body?
It's like a cross-country road trip
Right.
for a tiny little message.
Yeah, where does it go?
So the researchers,
Yeah.
they actually mapped out the whole pathway.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Why?
They traced the signal from those C-LTMRs in the skin
Yeah.
through the spinal cord,
Okay.
all the way up to a specific part of the brain.
So they know exactly where it goes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it turns out
Yeah.
that that part of the brain
Yeah.
is responsible for controlling movement.
Oh, okay.
So when the signal gets there,
Yeah.
it's basically like, okay, time to shake.
Makes sense.
And that's how the whole shake happens.
Wow, so it's like a chain reaction.
It's like a chain reaction.
Starting with a feeling in the skin.
Yeah.
And ending with this whole body shake.
It's like a symphony of nerves and muscles
love it.
all working together
Yeah.
to get that dog dry.
So we've basically solved the mystery
We've cracked the code
of the wet dog shake.
of the wet dog shake.
It's awesome.
But this research is about way more than just dogs.
Right, because other animals shake too.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like what about cats?
Cats shake, rats shake,
Oh yeah, rats for sure.
even horses shake.
Yeah.
It's like this universal behavior
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
in the animal kingdom.
So this could apply to lots of animals.
Yeah, and by understanding
Yeah.
how it works in one animal,
Uh-huh.
we can start to understand
Yeah.
how it might work in others,
That makes sense.
and maybe even in humans.
Oh, interesting.
So think about it.
Yeah.
We have C-LTMRs in our skin too.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we do. And we have a spinal cord,
Right.
and we have a brain.
Yeah.
So it's possible
Yeah.
that similar pathways
Uh-huh.
could be involved in other movements
In humans.
in humans.
That's wild.
Yeah, like maybe even things
Like what?
like reflexes or tremors, or even more complex movements.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
So by studying something
Yeah.
as simple as a wet dog shake,
Right.
we might actually be able to
Yeah.
learn more about
Mhm.
how our own bodies move.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It really is.
So next time you see your furry friend
Yeah.
shaking off after a bath,
Mhm.
just remember,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot more going on
Yeah.
than meets the eye.
It's like a secret dance party
Yeah.
happening under their fur.
It's amazing what we can learn
Yeah.
from the natural world.
So much.
And that's our deep dive for today.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Until next time,
Yeah.
keep those brains buzzing and stay curious.
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.